Good morning, everybody. Nafar Tuat. This is Malhuta Nudima Kahagadul Herukayu, or just call me George Smith, right? Making this video is one of the first video on our new company, Amun Logistics LLC, out of Arizona. What's the Gregorian date today? The 17th, I believe. I think, yeah. Today's January 17th. I've been meaning to make this video about Western Flyer Express. Getting started, getting onboarded, and I ain't being paid to make this. Oh, there's a lot of helicopter action here in Henderson, Nevada, which is right next to Vegas. Man, if I'm gonna turn on the air a little bit. So yeah, I've been meaning to make this video for a while, but I had to wait till my Google Workspace account would let me create a YouTube account for the company. So this is it right here. So yeah, I've been with Western Flyer Express. I started on I contract with Western Flyer Express, so you always have to think about it like your own company, which it is your own company legally. So I started December 6th. Actually found out about this job from working at a smaller carrier, maybe about 20-25 miles from me, called Papa Fox Express, which I don't advise anybody work at. The dude tried to steal my last check. He tried to steal my last check. So that's all I'll say about that. But when his piece of crap international truck was breaking down, their piece of crap international truck was breaking down, I stopped by this place in Wyoming, like in the middle of nowhere in Wyoming, and the guy told me about Western Flyer Express because I was interested in leasing to own a truck, but I wanted a good deal. I was at Swift before, and I've only been truck driving for 7 months. And to me, when I heard the deal that they had, I was like, man, that sounds like massive stress. You got to pay like $1,000 a week, whether you're working or not. That just sounded. I was like, I'm 40 years old now. I know that's a bad deal. That's just a bad deal. I'm surprised veterans be taking that deal. Like, nah, man, I'm not taking that deal. There's got to be a better deal out there at least to owning that. And I'm glad I was thinking like that. So when I talked to this mechanic up there in Wyoming, he said, yeah, I used to work for a company called Western Flyer Express out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And I'm like, okay. So I said, what's the lease deal like? What's the structure of the deal? And he said that you pay about 23 cents a mile toward your truck, and then you pay 7 cents a mile toward your repair insurance. And he said the rest of the money is yours as a contractor. I said, what? I said, well, there's no fixed. He said there is a fixed rate which pays for the minimum truck payment and like your 2090 tax. There's some minimal stuff in there, but it's only $308, which is a lot more manageable than like $1,800. I've heard $1,600. I've heard $1,000. I've heard $800. That's the lowest I heard is like $800 or $900 on these lease deals. So I said, man, that sounds like one of the best deals in the industry. So I quit Papa Fox because I talked to the recruiter at Western Flyer Express that confirmed everything this guy was saying. And I said, I'm in. So I go to orientation. Well, they tell you that they pay for all your meals at the hotel. I think it was the Radisson I stayed at, yeah. So they pay for all the meals, right? Breakfast. And then when you're at orientation, they give you lunch. It's a 3-day orientation. They give you like 8 different restaurants. Well, actually, no, 5. I'm exaggerating. 5 different restaurants to choose your meals from. Water, soda while you're there. They pay for the hotel room. They pay for their flight, or they'll pay for your car rental as your transportation to orientation, right? So pretty good, because Swift had me in the ghetto in Tolleson where people had been murdered and there's like prostitutes and drug dealers around. And me and my wife went to that, and I said, well, this is a sign of things to come with Swift. And it was the omen. It was a sign of things to come. And that's why I left them, because they were terrible. To me, they were terrible. Anybody else, I don't know their situation. However, with me, it was pretty terrible. And so orientation was cool because I forgot the operation manager's name. I took a picture with him when you hold your certificate of completion, but he was very honest. He just went through the numbers. If you drive 3,000 miles or 3,500 miles and you're earning like $1.20 an hour, here's what your net pay is going to be, right? And the weeks average out. You stay out for 2 or 3 weeks, you come home for 2 or 3 days. You know what you're gonna get on your pay, and so that was orientation. Of course, you pick out your truck. We spoke. Well, me and the group. There's another dude named Fabian, brother Fabian. There's another brother, I think, from. Oh, it's a dude from. I can't remember. He said he was driving for about 6 years, but went to this dude from Carolina, right? This short Moreno dude, and from South Carolina, and and he said he was only making like $400 a week as a contractor. And I'm like, how are you only making $400 a week? Unless somebody got to be lying. It's either WFX or this dude is lying. So I couldn't tell. The only way I could really tell is, hey, if I drive for a week, see what kind of money I make. So the dude was telling me, you got to watch your fuel. What you do need to watch your fuel. Don't over fuel, because it's going to come out of your paycheck, right? I found that out in my last paycheck. I filled up, and I only got a couple $100 in that paycheck because I spent like $700 of fueling up the tank because I wanted to see how much I can get in there. And it's about 200 gallons in this 2020 Freightliner with the DT12 engine. So that was a lesson learned. But my next check was cool. It was about $1,400 after driving about. I think I drove. No, I took an advance out too, so it was like $1,500. It would have been $1,600 with 3,100 miles driven, but understand that of your gross, you're paying for your truck payment. So after all that, you still get $1,600 to either to pay your bills with or to reinvest back in your company. Like my situation is kind of unique because I'm kind of off the grid in northern Arizona, so I don't have an electricity bill, I don't have a gas bill, I don't have a mortgage, I don't have rent. So most of that money that me and my wife are getting for running Amun Logistics LLC goes right back into the company. So we're expanding the business. I'll talk about that in another video. But it's continuing on with the orientation, I met my fleet manager. She's pretty cool. She's been keeping me running. I'm averaging about I say 2,600 miles a week, and you get paid on dispatch miles too, not completed loads. So if I get dispatched, because the cutoff time is Friday at 23:59. So if I get a dispatch before 23:59, I get paid that week for that. I get paid for that week the moment I get dispatched, not when I complete the load, but when I get dispatched. I get that money for that week. I don't have to wait another week to get paid for that load. So that was a cool thing. They hook you up with a TV. I got my Xbox and a TV. I watch movies or whatever. I just got this I'm having a brain fart. My CB radio. Just got my CB. They mounted the radio mount. I bought the mount and I bought the T5000 Wilson, and they mounted it up for me. So all I need to do is buy the coaxial cable and run it through some of this paneling over here and pop out some of these panels. But I'm gonna do that probably next week. No rush on that. As a contractor, you can wash your tractor at the HQ in OKC, but it's $45, which is not bad, because if you go to the car wash or any other places, it's like 80, 85, 90. So you're saving half the, and plus you get to write it all off on your taxes, right? They also hook you up with a company. That's my segue right there, right? So they also hook you up with a company called ATBS that will do your taxes for like $22 a week. And they have a pretty cool per diem program, because you get $69 per day from the IRS on your per diem for like eating, right? So that's $69 being subtracted from your taxable amount. So everything's a write-off, man. I mean, everything I buy for the truck, things that the company can pay for, like health insurance and all that, if it comes out of the company account, write it all off. You can write it all off now. So I would highly advise you do that. There's another channel. I also want to address this. There's another channel called Bear Mix, and before I went into orientation, I was watching this dude's channel, and he kind of flip-flopped. At first he was cool with WFX, and then all of a sudden they owed him $10,000. I'm like, wow, I ain't front. I love WFX so far. If they owe me 10 G's, I'm not working for them no more. If they owe me 3 G's, I'm not working until I get paid. Why would you let it accumulate up to 10 grand? Now there's something very fishy about that. Hold on, I'm gonna give me some water. All right, I'm back. So didn't really get why the dude was complaining about. I get why he's complaining about the 10 grand, but why would you let it accumulate to that much? You must have like 50 G's saved up, because I'm like, hey, I still got stuff I got to pay for to grow my company. And then the truck, like the lease deal for the truck, if you don't drive, all you do is pay $308 a week. So if you want to go on vacation, I heard the operations manager say that you just pay you could pay the $300 in advance. If you know you're not going to work that week, you just pay it in advance. You're taken care of. You don't have to pay $1,500 or that sounds like slavery to me. And that kind of goes into another segment. I know I'm supposed to talk about WFX and Amun Trucking LLC, in which we're partners with WFX now. However, I want to put this out there to watch out for predatory loans, man. Not only in the housing market. If you listen to Robert Kiyosaki, you should know how to invest your money, know what a good deal is for you, what's not. These leasing truck deals, they're predatory. That's why a lot of lease owner operators go out of business. It's just too hard to keep up with. WFX is nice and cool, and there's no stress. Like, there's no stress at all. I don't have to come up with $1,200 dollars a week. If I don't drive, I just pay $308 a week. Predatory loan, that in cars, tractors, bulldozers, whatever you're buying, do your home. Credit cards, especially credit cards, so many loopholes in the fine print in the contract. It's It's ridiculous. I don't even have a credit card now. I don't even have one. Don't. I'm probably gonna get a fleet card for this, just so I could manage my cash flow a little better. But yeah, $10,000 for that dude. That's ridiculous. So he said WFX is getting sued, and I'm not doing this for WFX because that's my partner, and the owner Randy, to give people an opportunity like this. That's the man, dude. He understands truckers. Now I don't like using the term trucker because trucker reminds me of some old fat white dude. Hey, I'm trucking. It ain't like that no more. So I call myself a transport tractor driver. You know, a transportation driver. Hey, I'm trucking. Nah. I don't like that. That's not my flavor. So, you got to keep yourself in shape out here, man. Like, I got to wait. I'm about to put on some shorts and go running. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get hydrated. With some water. It's a nice space around here. It's like a little industrial park here in Henderson, Nevada, right off of Raiders Way. You know, the Raiders came to Vegas, so, but got to stay in shape, man. Especially if you're single, trying to get with the ladies, man. But stay in shape. So anyway, WFX, if you're trying to get in the transportation business, driving a tractor with a 53-foot flatbed, container van, or reefer van, this is the place to get started. If you want to run it like a company and like a business, this is the place to get started. If you just want to drive a single tractor, owner-operator, this is the place too. But you could probably go to somebody else to get it started too, like Swift, but the terms will just not be favorable to you. $1,000 a week, bro, that's ridiculous. No matter what. WFX is $308. So there's really nothing to think about. Hop on the deal, man. It's still going on. And if you want me to put you in touch with a recruiter, give me a call at 928-985-2764. And I'll plug you in. You know what I mean? It's a very family-orientated administration at WFX, Western Fly Express. Now, don't get Western Fly Express mixed in with Western Express, because I did a couple YouTube searches, trying to find out more before I flew in for orientation to see if I still wanted to come or not. And there were some horrible reviews on Western Express. I said, dang, do I really want to go to Western Fly Express then? I mean, people talking bad about Western Express. And I looked at the title of the video, and it says Western Express, not Western Flyer Express. So then I said, oh, okay, this ain't even the same company. I thought, thank goodness, because consciously I could not go with that many people complaining. So the only complaint I seen with Western Flyer Express, I seen two people. There was an older guy. He had found another job in a truck, and he said something. He said they let him go at orientation. So he did something at orientation. He got mad that he got caught or something. But you got to understand, Western Fly Express got their own interests. Then their best interest is in you becoming successful. And no joke, because I'm not an easy person to influence at all. I worked in IT for 13 years and bounced around quite a bit in IT, so I know about bouncing around from job to job. I know this era is different from my parents' era, where you can work somewhere for 20, 30 years and be cool with a pension. But pensions, that's gone now. That's damn near gone. There's no more pensions, not even on the in government level. There's no pensions. There's 401k, in which 401ks and Wall Street gets your money there. I'm not giving my money to Wall Street. So I don't invest in 401k. I don't do mutual funds. I invest in hard assets like trucks, land, houses. I'm about to ramp up my game in the real estate game too. I'll probably form another entity for that. So Oh, a peace to brother Kuham out there in Houston, Texas, out there, flipping. He's part of the United Dawabi Nation of Moors too. So this is also where the idea of Amun logistics comes from. Is from the United Dawabi Nation of Moors and the master teacher, Malachi Zadok York Al. So yeah, learn to invest wisely. So, but the only way you truly learn is you gotta hop in the truck, or you gotta invest in that piece of land, or do whatever you want to do, so you can start learning on the job. You can start. That's how I started in the computer engineering business, or IT. Yeah, I read a lot of books. My dad used to work at Hughes Aircraft, but and that turned into Computer Science Corporation. So I learned a lot from my dad coming home and building computers. You know what I mean? So by the time I get into IT, I already know how to take a computer apart, take out the SAS controllers out of the servers, and install hardware, and edit a config.sys file, autoexec.bat file. Even though that's very old, that's old. You don't even have to touch that stuff now. That's embedded with the operator. Okay, but don't let me jump off subject here. Subject is the transportation business. So Amun Trucking was pretty much born out of the idea to help other people in the tribe and in our nation. So, just like you see family businesses, family transportation businesses being started, this is kind of like the same thing here. It's like a family tribal business operating in the U.S. So, but there's a lot of business opportunity out here. I think this is the best one. People are always, gonna complain because, they expect to be babied, and if they don't get what they want, they don't have the ability to compromise. Every business owner or somebody who owns controlling interest in a company learns to compromise. Nope, unless you're just stupid and you're getting pimped, and they're like the music industry, you make your first album, you're getting pimped because you're not bringing anything to the table. You're bringing your talent, but you don't have enough business savvy, or you didn't hire the right manager to know to look over your music contract. When you're an employee, the only thing about employees don't have there's no employee manager to make sure you get the best contract, even as an employee working for a corporation. And that's why a lot of employees get taken advantage of, used up, and just thrown out the window, because the corporation don't have time to deal with you. They just see you as a number, and you're an employee, which is kind of a step up from a slave, because they can fire you whenever they want to for any reason that they want to, even if you're doing a good job. See, if you're a contractor and you're doing a good job and you're helping out that corporation and they're helping out your corporation, they're not going to let you go so easily. You can come back to the negotiating table and do things. As an employee, you could ask for a raise and they can say yes or no. Otherwise, if you don't like it, then they'll be like, okay, well, kick rocks. Kick rocks. That okay, that you're an employee, meaning you're not at the same status level as they are. Right? And I'm not saying because you're a contractor, you're balling and you're rich. What I'm saying is you control more of your assets. You control your labor. See, when you're an employee, you don't control your labor. But anyway, the corporation owns your labor. That's what employee basically means. That means, so anyway, with Western Flyer Express, I feel like in my first month and a half, it's a good company to work for, especially if you're going to build up your own estate. If you're going to build up your own businesses, this is the place to start. To pay off the truck, it's going to be about 3.5, 4 years now. Last month, I drove about 10,500 miles. So if I keep that up, I'll have paid the truck off in like 3.5 years. Not bad. With no financing. I didn't put anything up front. I didn't spend one penny, not even at orientation. I didn't spend one penny. There's no down payment. You just, I would suggest you form an LLC, then go into contracting with Western Flyer Express. That would be my advice. So, yeah, so I think that's about it for Amun Trucking LLC. This is Brother Mahutha Nudimud Kahagadu Hedo Kayu. Or call me George Smith. I was born George Smith. So that's easier to say for the American guys. Go ahead and say that. Yeah. That's about it. Until next time, Wadu, peace.